Alright, anybody out there? We are going to play some more TEW, see if we can get this company to fail this round. I'm expecting it to happen. Just give me a few more minutes, and we'll get started. Excuse me. Alright, we're here. Let me just fix my microphone, and we will get right to it. Alright, I'm being randomly attacked by my dog. Okay. Oops. So, as I closed up shop last night, sorry about that. So as I closed up shop last night, I made some offers to two more wrestlers. Excuse me again. Devon Storm and Marty Gardner, also known as Champagne. They're cheap. It's the only reason we did it. I figure we might be cutting prime time in the not too distant future. So, let's get started. The clanging you hear in the background is my dog being an ass, because that's what she does. Now with two new wrestlers, we're going to auto push and see what happens. We're also going to change Marty Gardner to be his Omega character, Champagne. What the hell? Oh, I didn't change it in the right spot. Alright, let's see what he can do. I'm going to give him a comedy gimmick. I know we don't really use comedy in this place, but who cares? I don't know, he doesn't fit there, so we're going to go wholesome. Maybe you can get something wholesome. I just know Daredevil isn't going to work. This might... with his name, it doesn't work. Teen Idol, we'll go that route. And then we gotta set up, who's gonna go be signed? I know I saw, oh, Devon Storm. Let's give him a weird gimmick, because he's strong there. Yeah, we're going, bum off the bat. This is kind of what I feel like. I've only seen Devon Storm really perform great one time, and it was at the worst show ever. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even see it then live because I walked out. It was Extreme Reunion. Was that what it was called? Shane Douglas's sort of recent promotion. The inaugural one was down the street from my apartment here at the Armory, and God, what a shit show. I don't even know where to begin. I don't remember most of it, thank God, because it was just the like literally get it. You get the ECW like fan base. They got a packed house too. They really sold it. It was like they got all the old people that used to watch around here out of the woodworks to go, and Let's skip this up while I'm ranting over here. They got everybody to come out. Like literally, the place was packed. There had to be 1,000 people at the show, and it started off decently. I want to say. I think if I remember correct, they had somebody come out and they were talking, and you can hear them fine. The PA system was completely fine, and then I think they started an ECW tribute, and it was either during that or somebody talking. I don't remember exactly, but during the I remember during the tribute, all of a sudden the sound popped. Like you heard something pop, and boom, you couldn't hear shit anymore. Every time somebody was on the microphone, you could not hear anything they were saying from where I was standing, and I was not that far away. It was atrocious. Then the wrestling came out, like everyone was just bad. There was a couple decent matches, like I think they had FPI versus the BWO, if I remember correctly. That wasn't a bad match. Like they did what they should have out there. It was like a decent little comedy match. Like they had the meeting. I think Guido had like a thumb wrestling match in the middle of the match. It was entertaining. That was fine. Then they had the gangsters come out, and they cut their music off. One, that was stupid, and they have them going against Blackout. And I'm pretty sure they were trying to start like a small program with them, and it failed because they had Blackout go over on a night when they first had the gangsters reunite in like years. It's just like you just don't do that, especially if you're gonna do a program with them. So they killed it immediately. And then you had Axel and Balls. I think had a match. It was atrocious. And I got a good Balls story after that. I love Balls Mahoney. It's no disrespect, but a great story coming up. Another one was, then I remember the Raven, I think it was Raven, supposed to be Raven versus Sandman, or Raven and somebody versus the Sandman and somebody. I think it was Pitbull, Gary Wolf, or whatever Pitbull's still alive. I can't remember. Well, Sandman did his whole 5-minute entrance. It was, I guess it was cool. But the Raven comes out with like 3 goons that I'd never heard of in my life. One of them was literally just a crippled person, and like no problem with that. But like at one point they used him as a weapon by picking him up and throwing him at like the Sandman and Pitbull. It was fucking ridiculous. Raven stood on the outside of the ropes the entire time, didn't fight for 5 seconds. I mean, I was a huge Raven and Sandman fan back in the day, so like it was a little disappointing. But that's what Raven does to just say fuck you. He does that shit. And for all I know, he was all effed up. Sabu overdosed right before the show. What else was there? I didn't see it, but people told me Justin Credible was in the audience asking people for money so he can get home. And supposedly he was all fucked up. Now, I've heard he's way better now. I've even seen him. He's clearly not that effed up. But I didn't see this. This is just what I heard was going through the audience that night. Shane Douglas told us to go F ourselves at one point. I know this is all, I think, actually in the documentary. Maybe Barbed Wire City, something like that. You'll see all of it. It was bad. It was so bad. The best part that you're not going to get in Barbed Wire City, though, was this all started with talking about Devon Storm. So the Devon Storm Jerry Lynn match was going on, and right before I was so fed up with the whole thing, I was like, all right, I'm done. So me and my one friend went outside to smoke a cigarette. The other 2 that were with us, they stayed they're like, well, we're not leaving yet. Devon Storm and Jerry Lynn had a match. Supposedly it was the only good match of the night. I went back and watched the event later on, and I do agree that they did put on a pretty decent match for the 2 of them. They had like a table move, like a Frankensteiner to the outside through a table. Like it looked pretty violent for 2 old dudes. It was like Jerry Lynn's like one of his last matches too. So that was decent. But it's okay. So we go outside to smoke a cigarette. Hey, there's like 7, 8 people there. And my one friend, we're standing there, and out comes Balls Mahoney. He's got tacks in his forehead, I believe, still, or like a piece of paper, like just like. You know, like how you dab a little tissue to your, like if you cut yourself when you're with a razor. Well, he's got that on his forehead, just like, but not dab, like full napkins, just like stapled, not even like like pinned to his head, like and dried blood, like keeping it there. It was ridiculous. Comes out with some lady. It does sort of look like him, And he goes, "Hey, attention, everybody! I just want you to introduce everybody to my sister. We just met tonight." So we all met, like with Balls Mahoney. We met his sister right there on the front step of the Armory, in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, yeah. It was ridiculous. All right, so we got 4 days left before the show. Yeah, I love Balls Mahoney. But Axel that night did not look too well. Loved Axel too when he was around. Him and Ian put on some crazy shit. You know, Ian sucked as a wrestler, and I am a huge fan of deathmatch wrestling, but I was not a big fan of Ian's work. I love IWA. I love that. I love his promotion. But his wrestling, I was never a big fan of him, except when he fought Axel. Should be a couple more days. We'll get this show going. Should close out some storylines coming up soon. I know we were planning on closing out the Sabu Candido and the Boo Bradley Moadib. Storylines as well, but we are still waiting them out. This dog is driving me crazy with these friggin' noises. I'm gonna mess with her on my foot, see if I can stop it. Alright, so let's follow me. Alright. So we're gonna go right to the show. I believe we have some pre-booking set from the last time. Hopefully everyone shows up. As predicted, Booker T is elsewhere. I should have had him drop the title. This could be good or bad. God only knows what's about to happen here. I see Brian Lee. Alright, so Taka was being a jerk. Eventually threw a punch at Storm. It was a bad move, though, as he gotten beaten up as a result. As his employer now have to deal with Taka. Before he gets his ass kicked, I almost want to take no action, but I'm going to give him a stern warning. Somehow he got worse. I don't understand that. Mark Morrow and Too Cold. Morrow was brought to wrestler's court found to pick up his share of the tab on the shared rental car. Scorpio found him guilty, sent him to pay for the full cost and reimburse his travel partners. Ooh. Mark Morrow's attitude is improved because of it. Primetime was brought to the wrestler's court for forgetting to shake another worker's hand. Shocker. Judge found him guilty and sent him to buy drinks for everyone. No change in the personality of Primetime because he's a dick. And finally, Moadib was brought to court. Also for the same thing as Brian Lee and forced to buy drinks. Our backstage is falling apart. Primetime getting in fights, Taka getting in fights. And fighting each other as well. Like, there's just brawls going on back there. We have no locker room leaders is really the problem. But our shows are pretty decent. Alright. Let's see what we got here. So, Texas Tornado match. Like, this right here has to be the main event, right? I feel like it does. Slow build. We'll let them decide who wins. I really don't give a shit. No, we don't want to steal the show. We want storytelling. It doesn't matter. Because Sabu is going to... I mean, Sabu's going to get over. Moadib's going to get over. I think Bradley's the only one that's not really doing well. And if Candido and him can win this one, then they'll get over. So, even more. Candido's getting over too. So, and he lost his series technically. I should actually set that up for them to win, but I'm not going to. Who won that tag match? Yeah, because they won the last one, I'm not going to give them that. And now we got to put Prime Time and Too Cold. Hopefully Prime Time can go 15 minutes. That's going to be the match before. Now, Taka, for being a dick, is going to lose to Chris Canyon in our new Let's Push Chris Canyon campaign. I can have him go 15 too. Hopefully Canyon can go 15. This will be the test. We'll protect him. Here's the thing. I don't even. Did I pick? Yeah, okay. Get out of there. Alright, let's do Mark Merrow and Kid Cash. I don't think we've done that match. We'll find out shortly. Nope. I don't expect much out of them. I'd also rather them decide who wins. I gotta call it a new storyline after this too. It's probably gonna involve Chris Canyon since he's the one that's getting over the most right now for this weird friggin' reason. Alright, so we can have Matt Hardy go over Devon Storm to bring him into the promotion. Give him 10 minutes. For some reason, I don't want to do 10 minutes. I completely forgot to set the match, but and we'll do one more match. Champagne versus Chris Daniels. And yeah, we're gonna have Chris Daniels win. I'd like to start off Champagne strong, but I don't know how good he is. I don't know if he's gonna get over. Alright, so we need an angle. We're gonna have Candido and Bradley. No, we're gonna do a freestyle angle. Bill will be rated on microphone, Moadib, Menace, Sabu, Menace. I don't even know if he's got good Menace. I can't see any of that. These guys are so young in their career, they don't even have their stats out yet. And then him on microphone. I feel like this is cheating, but I don't care. That'll be our opener for the night, and we'll do one more angle where Chris Canyon asks who's better than Canyon. Oops. Even though he's a face in our promotion, we need to get him over even more. Maybe I should start a storyline now. Who should he... did the wrong thing. I'm gonna wait, because maybe he can go against Moadib, and I can move him into the main event that way. Alright, so right to it, we got our freestyle segment happens. Just imagine it's a big argument really between Kane as Moadib and Sabu stand there looking tough and crazy, and Boo Bradley and Candido out there yelling at them. Got the crowd hot, 42 overall. Kane learned to show more charisma. Really strong event start to the night. 72 people, so we lost some people coming to the show, by the way. And about that, a decent reaction and subpar crowd wrestling. I'm sorry. Daniels beat Champagne by pinfall with Angel's Wings. Champagne's debuted with his teen idol. It got over really good. I like that. Not great performance by Champagne. Christopher Daniels, a little bit better. Next match, Matt Hardy versus Devin Storm. A decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Hardy beat Storm by submission. Storm's bum gimmick got above average. He seemed off his game. Matt Hardy's getting better at his gimmick, and he had an okay performance, 29. I'm not going to bash it, but I'd like to see a little better. In a decent match, Kid Cash defeated Mark Merrow with Moneymaker. A little shocked that happened. Decent match between the two. Cash's performance skills went over. At least another heel one, because I don't think I had any winning anyway. Canyon takes the microphone and does his catchphrase for the fans. Who's better than Canyon? Everybody. That was really bad on my part. I apologize, everyone. He's getting better at his gimmick. Skip on from the 37. The match was pretty good, too. Canyon got a 41 in-ring performance. He beat Taka with a flatliner, and he got better at flying skills. The co-main event was a decent match. Too Cold beat Primetime Brian Lee with a Scorpio Splash. He's getting better at his gimmick. Nice. Scorpio and Primetime have great chemistry. We might have them fight a little bit more. Primetime got better at technical skills fighting him too. How can we fix this match? Really make it a little bit shorter. And in the main event, decent match. Boo Bradley and Candido once again beat Moadib and Sabu when Candido beat Sabu with the Blonde Bombshell. Sabu and Candido, pretty decent matches. So once again, they don't like brawl-based matches. Show increased our popularity with a 28. I feel like once again, I feel like it should be better than that. Let's do definitely Canyon. Too Cold, and then we'll give Candido this one. Alright, so let's get to the next day. And just a quick check of who we need to make sure Too Cold and Booker T are available. Looks like that's gonna work. Good. Ooh, he's who? ECWA, he's got a show already? Wow. Alright, so our main event for the next show is scheduled. It's a cage match between Booker T and 2 Cold Scorpio. We're going to end both of these storylines and make a new one. And then we are going to... Before we do that, we're going to auto-push everybody. Alright, so it's switched up a little bit here. Canyon's down the main event. This has worked perfectly. Chris Benoit will probably not be returning to the company. I imagine he'll cost a little too much by the time. We'll see what happens. I'll definitely try to re-sign him if I can, but with his 9-month injury, it's going to be quite a while. Oh yeah, we need to pick who is Canyon gonna fight. Canyon. I think the best option is Moadib, right? But as crazy and as stupid as it sounds, I want to push him against Booker T. I think I'm gonna just throw him in that storyline, and then I'll make something else. Alright, now we need another storyline. It's gonna involve... So if I remember correctly, Sabu won, but somehow he didn't get over. Candido got over after losing that thing. So we'll do Candido versus Moadib. And let's be honest, if our plans to put the title on Canyon, like I'm thinking, don't work, then we can slide it over into that storyline. I think that'll be fine. And just for safety reasons, we need to do one more storyline as a backup. Who is available? Out of this group, nobody. So we'll go to a level down and see who we can build. I don't like anybody down here. Except for Sabu, of course. So, it'd be Sabu versus Matt Hardy. I don't mind that at all. That might work. Shit. I don't even know why I had to play a major role in the other one. Alright, excuse me again. I apologize. Alright, where are we at here? Second week of August. We got 20 days to go. We got a lot of people with morale issues. Toxic backstage atmosphere. Ugh. I don't know what else to do about the backstage atmosphere. Where is my backstage button? Like, literally, I have a drug doctor for you fuckers, and everything else is allowed. Here, there's some. I can't afford food. Fuck you guys. I got a drug doctor for you. You guys want to do some dope? This is the 90s. It's a lot more acceptable back then. Let's skip ahead a bunch of days. 14. So we basically gotta go almost 2-3 weeks. We'll do that now, and we'll be right back. Alright, the multi-advance has stopped for some reason. That was quick. Primetime, Brian Lee has handed in his notice as he is unhappy in AWW. Ignore the extra A. He's now he's now had 7 days remaining with the company. I'm not really opposed to that. He's not going to be here for the next event, which I also don't care about. But we're going to book some matches for Epic event here, which is going to have our first cage match. I don't know what the hell my dog is trying to do behind me. I may need a new heel to come into the promotion. Really nothing interesting in our hidden gems. I may have to go hunting myself. But as I said, let's skip ahead. And once we get to this show, once after this show, we'll probably end it after this event. I just wonder how much longer until they say we're done. We're almost 25,000 in the hole right now. It's like 10,000 every 2 months we lose. 5,000 a month. I just don't see I don't see how we're gonna get ahead. I'm just kind of watching some of these people come up for some ideas. I think we looked at Taz. I think he was expensive. Same with Heyman's going to be really expensive. No matter what I would want to use him for. Ow. My dog just stabbed me with a elk antler. And she's going to do it again. Now I'm trying to think who else we should sign. For this, to replace Brian Lee. He's going to be gone by the time we get into the this thing here. We should actually almost be there. We're on Monday. The event is this week, September. Pretty sure. I think it was first week. Alright, come on. Alright, we got a multi-event stop. The show should be just in a few days here. Chaz Taylor's contract's ending. That's good for him. I am not re-signing him. Three days to the show. SWS has offered a contract to Too Cold. That's a little terrifying, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if that's a Japanese promotion or... I think it is. And their tours just mess with my really small-time indie promotions. Here we go. Damian Kane's contract's ending. If he's cheap enough, I may re-sign him. $400. I'll give him another 6 months. I don't really want to give him a lot, but something. Because I need somebody that can talk for these guys that can't talk. Even he's crap, but he's something. I wonder if I could find his wife too. Alright, well, it's showtime. Let's go in. And of course we got locker room incidents. Oh god, Steve Martin and Taka. Steve Martin caused heat backstage when he pulled a mean-spirited rib on Taka, nearly leading to a fight. I have an idea how to deal with Steve Martin. I'm firing his ass. And he's improved his behavior now. Steve Martin now has a simmering tension relationship with you. Steve Martin now has a strong dislike relationship with Taka. Taka is unhappy at your decision, calling it harsh. Are you kidding? You know what? I don't disagree. I think it was just me getting so sick of Steve Martin's name coming up there. I just was like, I'm fucking firing him next time I see him do anything. Alright, that was probably stupid. Oh, what you do, boo? Turn up late, turn up late. I don't really care. Candido's buying drinks for missing a handshake. Backstage improved a bit. I don't know how, but it did. Shit, Sabu's not going to be here tonight. So that storyline gets moved to a later date. It's fine. I don't really... It's not that important. Let's throw this in. This will be a 15-minute match. $18-minute match. Yeah, we're down 2 wrestlers because of what's his name quitting too. We're gonna start with Moadib. Let's take that back a step. Yeah. Oh shit. All right, I gotta do a little test. I want to see whose momentum is where. Candido, minor. They're both minor. For some reason, I thought Candido was getting over more. I will let them decide who wins the first match. Because I want to put a program on with them anyway. No, what am I doing? We gotta get 15 minutes. We can't do slow build. That's just not gonna work. Open. Save. Cage match. We'll do 20-minute cage match for the title. Booker T is going over. We all know why. Because who's better than Canyon? Everybody. Alright, Canyon needs to beat somebody's ass. Who can it be? We have to bring in a wrestler. I might spend some cash too. First of all, Todd Pettingill, I'm going to shortlist you for future use. I need a heel. Ron Garvin. I might spend some money. Did we bring Garvin in? He doesn't wrestle anymore? Uh-oh, look who's here. I don't want to bring New Jack in to this location. Actually, he fits perfectly with this place, and he's cheap. He's violent, he hates everything. I'm good with just the one for now. Canyon needs an opponent. That's the first place we're gonna go. He's fought Taka. Kid Cash has some momentum going, so let's bash Devin Storm in. Do an 8-minute match. Canyon. Protect. And then we'll have Boo Bradley and Kid Cash. Maybe. You know what? We can do Boo versus New Jack. These two might have a decent match. We'll do 9 minutes there. Just need Boo to win because New Jack's technically not a part of our promotion. Champagne versus Kid Cash or Taka. Kid Cash. And we'll do a tag match to finish with Mero and Matt Hardy versus Daniels and Taka. This is really the start seeing if we can get some any type of chemistry out of anybody. I don't really care what happens in that match. Alright, now set up some angles real quick. Do we have anything? So we're going to have Canyon run in on Booker T. After the match, he's going to pose with his title. See if that gets over. It might be a terrible idea, but let's see what happens. And we need something to start. Let's do... Let's play with this angle. And we're good to go. Alright, give me 1 second and we'll get started on this show. Alright, sorry, had to throw my dinner in. Alright, let's get started here. So we got, let's start the show. Damien Kane had an interview hyping up his singles match between Moadib and Candido. His client Moadib, and Kane got getting better at his gimmick, and it got the crowd hot and bothered. The first match of the night, tag match, continued to get the crowd hot. Daniels was technically the best performer of the night. When him and Taka beat Mark Henry and Matt Hardy beat them in 10 minutes with a pinfall after the TKO. It was a decent match too. No improvements. Next match, Champagne, a decent match. Beat Kid Cash. Oh, sorry, I'm really backwards tonight. Kid Cash beat Champagne with the Moneymaker. Kid Cash looked pretty decent in his match here. Got a 32 overall. Decent reaction, subpar wrestling. Boo Bradley beat New Jack with Nutcracker Sweet. Boo looked good. New Jack looked like shit. Chris Canyon beat Devin Storm with a flatliner. Damn, Canyon just has good chemistry with a lot of friggin' wrestlers here. Devin Storm's getting better at his gimmick. Canyon, another really good night. Decent match. Candido defeated Moadib by pinfall with a blonde bombshell. Candido, another great match. 43. Damn. And in the main event, about to have great heat. and decent wrestling, Booker T defeated Too Cold Scorpio in a cage classic in about 20 minutes by pinfall with a Harlem Hangover. Booker T makes his 4th title defense. Really good night for these guys. And in the final here, yeah, we know. Not great, but Challenger Canyon comes out, floors champion Booker T with his title bet and stands over him posing with it, setting up the main event for our next event, which is Against All Odds. Right? Yeah. Chris Canyon's gonna show who's better than Canyon. And we'll end our show there. General feelings at AWWA does not AWW. I know there's an extra A, but fuck that. I gotta go in the thing and fix that. Show increased our popularity in one region. So once again, Canyon, Candido, and Booker T had good nights in the ring. And we're getting ready to wrap this show up here, folks. Basically, sorry, I got distracted by my dog being stuck right now because she's constantly getting into things. Basically, what we're going to do is really 1 point. 1 point. Canyon's bum ass is the reason why. Alright, so next time we come back, we'll have that event. We'll book a couple, we'll schedule a couple more shows as well. And then, we're still alive here somehow. I don't understand how we are. Maybe we'll even fail when we get to it. I'm going to advance a few more days. I may even attempt to sign a couple wrestlers. That'll be, I guess, a surprise on the way in. And next time, I'm not that I have an idea who they're going to be, but that's going to be it. We'll see you guys next time.